T.A.G, very nice, very evil.
Yeah, that's T.A.G shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
What up, T.A.G Nation? It is still the disembodied voice of ScooterRay. Yeah, I still sound a little under the weather, but hey, NXT tonight brightened my day. It brightened my day and made me feel just a little bit better. Because while I'm trying to fight and get over this sickness, NXT delivers for your boy. But let's talk about it. The show opens up with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven going against Sol, Ruka, and Zarya. And it was a pretty solid match, pretty decent match. You know, Chelsea and Piper are going to do the Chelsea and Piper things. You know, Chelsea is still currently women's U.S. champion. And surprisingly, Sol and Zarya gets the W. Now, before I was saying, you know, I didn't know how long this team was going to be a team. I honestly thought this was going to be one of those things that was going to lead to Zarya betraying Sol. It could still happen, but I thought it was going to happen sooner than later, considering they made it seem like more Zarya is a loner / you know, I didn't really want to even be a team with you anyway. But obviously they got some hopes for Sol and Zarya. So could this potentially lead to them getting a shot against Liv and Raquel? I don't know, but obviously, I mean, they beat the Meta Girls. They beat Chelsea and Piper with Sol pinning Chelsea. Who else they beat? They beat another. They beat like a couple of teams. I want to say that they said they was like 3 straight before this match. So it's interesting to see how far they end up going with this team, considering I didn't think this team was going to be a thing this long, to be perfectly honest with y'all. So, hey, well, we're here. But yeah, Sol and Zarya gets the W. Once again, it was a solid match. At one point, Chelsea did get busted open, like in the mouth area. And, you know, Chelsea, she's going to still be Chelsea. She's still going to be the professional. She's still going to be, you know, Chelsea Green. But yeah, so interesting to see how long this team of Zarya and Sol are going to last. And, you know, how far is it going to go? Next up, we get a segment between Jordan Grace. She's back there talking to Ava. Cora Jade comes in and interrupts. Basically like, look, I got a title match with Masha Slamovich. Sorry, let me rewind. Cora Jade has a TNA Knockouts Championship match against Masha Slamovich at TNA Sacrifice on the 14th of March. And she's coming back there basically saying, you know, your girl is about to do this and do that. And then Jordan's like, I mean, we sitting here talking and you just kind of came in and interrupt. Like, that's kind of messed up. But you know, and then of course it led to, how about we just settle it? How about you and I settle it later on? And I will get to that match later on. And then the next segment was Trick was back there talking to Ava, and he basically wants Eddie Thorpe. And while he was talking to Ava, KO Dixon and Uriah Connors comes up, and they trying to give, you know, a little care package to Ava, and Trick was like, fam, you see me talking and y'all just coming in here barging in with your little care package, like. And they was like, man, look, we just trying to get this to Ava. He was like, I don't care what y'all are trying to do. Don't y'all see me in here talking? And then Trick kind of hems up KO, and they're just like, well, Father, you know what? We'll handle it tonight then, big dog. And once again, they'll get there later. The next match, we finally have this grudge match between Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan. Now, this of course stems from the fact that Kalani still wants to be, I'm not the little sis. I'm a big girl and I'm tough, and you can't just be disrespecting me. And Jada ain't here for that. Jada ain't here for the whoop de whoop. And Jada's here for the wop bop boom bop bings. You know what I'm saying? So good match. Good match. Good little grudge match. Ultimately, the right woman went over with Jada Parker because her popularity, her aura, herness, just Jada's herness is at an all-time high. And after she got the W, she looks in the camera and says, "Hey, Stephanie, Julia, I'll be watching. I'll be watching to see who wins next week." So it's like, ooh, they cooking on NXT, baby. Then we get Tony D talking, and basically, Tony D's back is a little still hurt and damaged from, when Spears attacked, for when he got beat up in the cage. They feel he hasn't fully recovered. Stacks is worrying about him, and everybody's kind of worried. And he's like, "Look, I understand y'all are worried, but I got to go out there and I have to fight for respect for the family. I can't let Spears and his family disrespect our family. You know what I'm saying? You got to say it in Dominic Toretto voice, the family. So he was like, I'm going to go out there and defend this belt, and I'm going to make sure I bring it back to the family. But we'll see later on. And throughout the show, they was doing little press conferences since Roadblock. They did Oba's press conference, and essentially Oba was like, you get two Nigerian giants. They're about to go clash heads up, but don't worry. Your boy is still walking out NXT champion. Your boy is still walking out with the gold. Then we get another segment where the Hardys come out, because the Hardys will be taking on Fraxium at Roadblock for the T.A.G championships. So the Hardys come out there, and they're basically talking about how, Surreal being on NXT TV, being back in WWE, and, being one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and the greatest team of all time and space, according to Matt Hardy. And then, as they was talking, Hank and Tank comes out and interrupts. The crowd did not like that at all. The crowd was not happy. And granted, it was a little disrespectful that they interrupted Matt and Jeff, but they did come out on some, hey, we're trying to figure out how do we get to the next level. And, the Hardys was like, well, you got to be extreme. And not just, the sense of tables, ladders, and chairs, but like, go out there and do the damn thing in the essence. And then we get Briggs and Amora interrupt, and they was like, stop kissing the Hardys' ass. Like, y'all out here major ass kissing, and that's crazy, because all y'all trying to do is get title shots. And then Hank and Tank decides, you know what, we're gonna just fight. So they just dove on them, and they led to a brawl. And after they left, it was a close-up on the Hardys. And it was the Hardys watching the action, and then Matt grabs the mic, and he was like, Fraxium, I knew you'd come. And then the camera pans, Fraxium is standing behind the Hardys, and pretty much they're trying to determine who's the greatest tag team between Fraxium or the Hardys. And once again at Roadblock, we will find out. Then we get that match between Cora Jade and Jordynne Grace. Pretty standard, and I'm assuming it happened during picture-in-picture because I did miss it. Cora had a mishap that caused her to be backed into the corner, and she was clutching at her knee. Now, the crappy part about this, it wasn't the knee that's in the knee brace. I don't know if any reports have came out and said exactly what happened, but due to the actions, they had to stop the match and declare Jordynne the winner. Now, to just spend some time on Cora, thoughts, prayers, and everything go out to Cora Jade. Hopefully the injury is not serious, because it has to suck. It has to suck for Cora Jade at this point, because the amount of time, the amount of effort, and it seems like every time she has something and she's building up to something, injury. Like I just said, she has a knockout championship match next Friday, and I really do hope Cora's not like hurt. That it's just like a little, hey, my knee kind of locked up real bad. Your girl is hurting. I'm gonna be good. But if it's another like legit injury, my goodness, what a bad break. No pun intended. Because when that woman starts to just heat up, injury. And that has to be defeating, deflating, and all of the above. So really, truly, prayers out to Cora, and I hope she is really good, because she's kind of doing her best work right now. And for her to get sidelined with another injury, I don't know, guys. I don't know. But Jordynne Grace, she's making her presence known. And her last week, she had a little kerfuffle with Roxanne. Then they showed later on that after this match, Roxanne had beat her up with a chair. So she was laid out on the ground. Later on, Ava did announce that Jordynne Grace, Roxanne Perez will be at Roadblock next week. So Roadblock is looking stacked. Then we get like a little face off between there was not so much them, it was like them sitting in opposite rooms. Ethan Page, Javon Evans. It was announced earlier through Ava on social media that Page and Evans will have them a New York City street fight at Roadblock. And basically they was just jaw-jacking, talking trash to each other. And it'll all go down at the street fight, pretty much. Then we get to the match between Trick Willie and K.O. Dixon, and child. Soon as that bell rung, Trick hit him with that trick shot, started raining punches, and the ref called it. It was like, my goodness. And after the excitement of Trick just knocking out Dixon like that, Eddie Thorpe shows up in that little area they have, and he was like, well, fine, Trick, you want me so bad? Well, how about in 2 weeks we do this at the NXT Underground? And Trick was like, bet, run it. 2 weeks, y'all. Trick Willie, Eddie Thorpe, NXT Underground. Let's go. Then we get a segment of Ricky Saints walking backstage, looking at people. He gets into a little words with Ridge Holland, nothing serious. He was just basically like, he was trying to show some love, and Ridge was like, you don't look as special as you think you look and everything. And then, Ricky still kind of has that look of, why is everybody in NXT on the edge? Like, what's going on? Then he walks into Spears and his family, and that rolls into the main event. Shawn Spears versus Tony D'Angelo for the North American Championship. Shawn Spears has his family. Tony D has the family. And this was definitely a PLE worthy match. Like, they went out there and had them almost a PLE style match. Like, it didn't feel like, yes, it was a TV match. It didn't give off 100% that it was a TV match, if y'all know what I mean. Like, it actually felt like if there was another PLE between now and Stand and Deliver, this could have easily been on there. But eventually, due to shenanigans from Izzy Dane, because So she's kind of like the catalyst to all of this. And of course, Tony D selling the back and everything. Due to her interference, it did lead to the families clashing completely. Excuse me, sorry about that. Due to the family clashing completely, then it led to Spears pushing Tony D into Stacks. Nope, wrong way. Spears pushed Stacks into Tony D because Tony D was on the outside apron. He falls off the apron and falls onto a chair that was laying on the outside. Wow, right in the back. Sean Spears gets Tony D in, hits him with that C4. Nope, Tony D was like, nah, Playboy, I'm not going down that easily. Then it led to eventually Tony D going for that spine buster. And as soon as he got Spears up, the back gave out. And all Spears had to do was pin 1, 2, 3, and new North American champion, Sean Spears. My goodness. But once again, I saw this coming when they didn't put the belt on Ridge. When they didn't put the North American Championship on Ridge, I kind of figured that Spears was going to be the one. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Tony D have a rematch, just to kind of, especially since Tony D was selling the back and everything. It's like, hey, fight me when I'm 100% healthy again, and let's do it. But that was pretty much NXT tonight. There was a lot of setup going into Roadblock, which will be next week. And once again, to run down some of these things, the things that are advertised for Roadblock, we're going to have Mickie James, The Undertaker, Bubba Ray, and Booker T, of course, all from LFG, Legends and Futures Greats, are all going to be in attendance at this show. We're going to get Javon Evans, Ethan Page in the New York City street fight, Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace. We're going to get the Hardys versus Fraxium for the TNA tag team titles to see who's the quote-unquote best tag team there is right now. We're going to get Big Obafemi defending the NXT Championship against TNA's X Division champion, Moose. And we're going to get NXT's Women's North American Champion, Stephanie Vaquer, versus NXT Women's Champion, Julia, in a title for title. My goodness, Roadblock sounds stacked. For a TV episode, Roadblock sounds stacked. And I can't wait to watch, and I can't wait to deliver the review / recap of it all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you loved it or hate it, don't forget to rate it thumbs up, thumbs down. Sorry that my voice is still a little because your boy has been fighting this cold since Friday, and I'm on the other side. I'm starting to be on the other side of it. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Hit the like button, share this video, comment, let us know how you feeling about NXT. Subscribe if you haven't, and of course hit the notification bell so you can be notified of any NXT.A.G videos, tier list videos, and of course the hot tags when we do PLE reviews, because Elimination Chamber is on the channel right now. And of course, we had to get into probably the most pivotal heel turn in this generation, right? Because it was major. It was major. Shout outs to Lip Dizzle. Shout outs to Jaeger Bombastic, so fantastic. Shout outs to the Forbidden Door Juggernaut 097. And shout outs to the newest member, kicking it with Leo. Shout outs to the family. Shout outs to the bloodline. Shout outs to the fact that we're gonna be running this IWC situation in years to come. I'm telling you, mark it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, love yourself, love one another. Be kind to yourself, be kind to one another. And until then, you beautiful, beautiful people out there, do not forget to tag out. Peace.